He acted on thoughts that a woman like her didn't speak aloud. His manner was friction upon her thighs, science fiction to her mind. His body moved beneath her skin. She was hovering, hovering. She lost her footing then, lost it to the light. Like the best laid plans gone awry, they came together. Urban legend, tall, tall tale, madcap folklore, whispered in the night. She penned him words he didn't deserve, closed his eyes, he never heard. Disengagement his chosen way, still he knew. In a future world where everything was bright, they were together for a brief respite, trying to keep a distance between them. He made her look into the light. Like the best laid plans gone awry, they came together. Urban legend, tall, tall tale, madcap folklore, whispered in the night. In a future world where everything was bright, they spent some time in brief respite, trying to keep a distance between them. He made her look into the light. 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 She looked into the light. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Beautiful, beautiful song.
Thank you.
You got a nice variety of music here. This is really cool.
Yeah, we really get a kick out of the whole writing of the songs. I mean, we do that a lot, and we have a lot of stuff that we're anxious to get out there, and the process of it is just so rewarding, I think, for both of us.
I mean, because we start off the songs generally with the lyrics first. We never start off with the idea that we're looking for a rock song or a country song. Everything starts off with the words, and then once we have the words somewhat put together, then the song sort of comes up around them. So we're as surprised as anybody when there might be a song that I would imagine would be fast ends up being slow. A song I would imagine would be slow ends up being fast, because it's just sort of the way that it takes. So on our record, for the debut CD, the last record party, we have 18 songs on it, which is ambitious, but we just couldn't figure out a song that we can cut, because there's a narrative within the record. There's a narrative about, from the moment we started the band, we started writing the story of that record.
Cool.
And it stopped right when we finished recording. So,
and it was a pretty wild
yeah,
ride.
yeah.
Can you summarize it?
The basically it starts off with I mean, Carmen and I had already met and wrote the book, but we decided to start a band, and then during the course of that, we both fell into some relationships that we had good times, bad times, and then we ended up fighting with each other. And of course, I mean, we're the type of people that if we're going to fight with each other, we're going to send it to each other and then make sure that we use it within the band. So there's certain songs that, there's certain things that I would be embarrassed to say to Carmen's face, but I'm more than pleased to sing them.
And yeah, there was a point where we were just exchanging songs, just like here. We wouldn't speak to each other, but here's some words.
And then after like the madness came and went, we sort of started recording the record, and everything sort of leveled out. And basically, I mean, the idea, the theme behind the record is that, well, we survived that year, so let's see what happens next year,
It was like a self-serving relationship where you fight, you write a song, then you make up, and then you write a song.
Well, we just don't write the makeup songs. We
Yeah.
fight and write a song, and then
Yeah,
we
it's hard to write
about other
makeup
stuff
songs.
until we fight again. Then we write another song about it. But I've noticed that, embarrassingly, that there's probably one love song on the record. And in terms of our repertoire, we don't have tons and tons of love songs. So we got a lot of
We have a lot of longing songs.
And a lot of breakup songs.
A lot of breakup songs.
Love songs, we have one.
Welcome back to Grimm Generation, Carmen Champagne and Jason P. Krug.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
Hello.
So, we've had some great music on the show tonight. Anybody want to call up and ask a question, 860-456-2164, or you can email me at markeRamoneradio@gmail.com. And I know Morgan's listening. Come on, Morgan. You've got some great... Morgan does a show here called Oldies Come to Life.
Uh-huh.
It's really cool. He does themes every week, and he's always got a great theme. And he does a show here at midnight on Saturday night.
Midnight Saturday? Is it a 4-hour show?
No, 1 hour.
Excellent.
But he fills in from time to time here and there too. And on the 4th of July, he did a Americana special. He's really cool.
Well, I think I caught some of that actually.
Did you?
Yeah, because I
Oh, was it one of your...
I was driving
Couldn't
around and
sleep?
I think I heard it.
Oh.
No.
Did you go to Third Thursday yesterday?
No, we were supposed to go, but
Stand by. Going on the air.
we had a schedule change, so we were not able to attend.
Oh, man. I didn't go because it was just too hot. Hello, you're on the air. How are you?
Am? Oh. I wondered why this guy, the guitar player, doesn't have his own radio show. He's brilliant. He's so much fun to listen to.
Oh,
A
good.
million stories.
He's definitely entertaining. Do you have any questions for him?
No, just give him a show.
All right.
Maybe have a show.
You mean our guitar player right now?
Yes.
Does he have a radio show?
Should he have a radio
Oh,
show?
you
Can
should.
you offer him one?
Would you like to do a radio show?
Sure.
Sure, the Grimm Generation. We've
We have spots available down here at WECS. You should give it a try.
music and love
Well,
advice.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Hope you didn't scare her while you were looking in the camera. Maybe she wasn't looking online. All right, 456-2164, 860-456-2164. I noticed in one of your videos you had pictures of John and John on your guitar.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite guitar too. It's an old beat up guitar. I think it's actually an acoustic Aria Pro, which is to this moment I'm still not sure what year they made those. But it's a absolutely perfect sounding guitar, and yeah, I have They Might Be Giants was a huge influence on me. I remember first time I heard Lincoln, heard the album Lincoln, was I just went crazy for it. So I mean, I do actually have that. I was really happy about that. Thank you for asking about that. I
Well,
did.
the funny thing is, I got to tell you this funny story. Is last night that's when I saw the video with the two pictures of John and John on your guitar, and yesterday I went somewhere and I stopped to get. Never go to this place. There's this deli in Vernon called Ryan's Deli.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I pull in, and I was just going to stop and get a quick sandwich. And I pull into the parking lot, and these three guys that walk out of the deli. And I go, those guys look familiar.
No way.
And it was John and John
Get
and some
out.
other guy.
At Ryan's Deli?
Yeah.
Because they just played the casino, didn't they?
Oh, right.
They just played the casino,
Yeah.
like I think this past
They have a
weekend.
new album out, and they are supposed to be at the casino. I don't know if they already did or if it's coming up or what.
Wow, are you
Oh
bummed?
man.
They've also got two like big releases, one in New York and one in Boston. I'm not sure if they were coming back and stopped because it's right off the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that the new album came out this week, and I haven't gotten it yet. But I actually listened to some of it, and it sounded like it's like I didn't particularly care for the last one,
Is that
which
the
was
kid one, right?
No, the kid ones are good.
Here Comes
The
Science?
Else, the Else was
Oh.
was one I didn't particularly care for, but the one right before that, Mink Car, I absolutely loved. So that is fantastic, man. Can you imagine at Ryan's Deli?
It was weird. I pulled in, and they were just coming out, and I'm like, do I stop the car in the middle of the driveway and
Yes.
run over and say hi?
Yes. Yes, you do.
But I didn't. I should. I'm like
I
kicking
always have that
myself.
same experience on the occasion where I meet people who are heroes of mine, and because my tastes are so not terribly mainstream, heroes of mine are guys who could walk through an ordinary crowd. So, for example, one time last year when we went to go see the Mountain Goats up in Northampton, I was walking down the street, and there was John of the Mountain Goats right there, and I didn't know what to do. I completely had no idea what to do, and then I went to shake his hand, except he's a complete germaphobe, so he was more freaked out than I was, and it was a very strange, though memorable meeting, and he didn't shake my hand, and I skulked away.
Oh,
That was my big move.
that's a great place to hang out, Northampton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we love
both
that.
Did you ever get
fans
a
of-
chance to play up there?
Not yet.
We hit East Hampton. That's as close as we've gotten at the Cellar with Angry Johnny of the Angry Johnny and the Killbillies, who is doing putting on shows and really turning that Cellar Bar into a very cool place for original music.
Yeah, and plus the setup of the bar itself is all filled with his original art, and his original art is definitely horror based. I mean,
Right.
definitely. I mean, it's immensely creepy and immensely cool, and he's a talented guy. Because
Yeah.
I mean, besides I love his band, but I mean the paintings were just phenomenal,
Yeah.
and for a creepy person such as myself, it's just a perfect bar to play in.
He is creepy.
So tell us about give us an experience of what you're like on the stage when you're performing live in a dark bar.
I think Jason and I play off of each other pretty well, and it depending on the mood. For instance, last weekend we played in East Hampton, Connecticut, at the 70 Main Coffee House, and Jason, I think, had a bit too much coffee.
See,
As
jumping
will-
bean.
As will happen.
As will happen, and he was just, like, boom, shot out of the gate, and just full of piss and vinegar, and very feisty, and it made for entertaining show for, perhaps at the expense of me. But yeah, we generally get along very well, and
Generally.
I think it
Good chemistry on the stage.
I think there's
No.
No.
What we sound like live is, I mean, what's interesting about it is, I mean, we're primarily an acoustic act. And again, when we play out as a trio, we play out with Dave Hogan, who plays baritone, electric, plays his gold top Les Paul, 12-string. But we're an acoustic act. And one of the things that we don't play like an acoustic band. We play loud, we play fast, cohesive rock and roll songs,
Foot
there-
stomping.
I mean, yeah. I mean, basically our rhythm is me stomping my foot, hopefully within time. In time.
I was thinking,
And-
you don't have any percussion, but you really don't miss it.
No, because my foot stomping is sort of the basis of our sound. Because when we started this, and really to this moment, I mean, we almost wanted to take on a more mainstream Cramps vibe than anything else, because the Cramps was just drug music for drug people. The Cramps was definitely just sort of stomping rockabilly madness with all the movie references and all the Bikini Girl references. But but fundamentally the music itself was rockabilly at its most bare. We don't go that bare because of the fact that we also have other influences that we touch upon. But we're not like your average acoustic act.
Right.
We play coffee houses, but we're not really coffee house music. And I don't say this as a critique to coffee house music because I listen to coffee house
Right.
music. But when we actually play, it's closer to rockabilly than it is to anything that's acoustic, than
Right.
it is to any kind of folk. So we definitely come at it with a different vibe. We played our first full electric gig at Idiot Village a couple weeks ago, and that was using us and the guys from Grey Light Campfire, which is good friends of ours, band out of Bridgeport, fantastic band out of Bridgeport. And we played the Idiot Village as a full electric band, and it was just a rockabilly rave up. All the songs were faster and crazier, and the whole thing sort of came together. So when we play acoustic with the trio, it's not your average acoustic show. It's much closer to a rock and roll show, probably closer to, say, Nuggets than Donovan. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? You want to do another song?
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
We're going to do something we haven't done for years, and it's sort of by request. And this is a song that we wrote, actually, I guess I wrote a long time ago. And as is tradition, whenever we play someplace where we're playing out or something, we always pick a song that we barely know, just to sort of keep it interesting.
For ourselves.
This is that song. So, this is a song called Waterford Speedway.
You're listening to WECS Willimantic.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
From a rental car, the passenger side, she watched him puzzle out the parking lot, and it hit with a shock, a lack of surprise. He wasn't an athlete, he was a DUI, and she was a new back to ride. She thought about the business side of disappointment, not the disc part, but the shopping point that you can't cover up with nervous laughter. A red wine drank from a plastic cup, eyes wide like a stick up. Carnival rides, relax back to Rustin, Ocean Beach Drive, all caked up in ice. Had a sip from a bottle, he hid in his coat. He made some remark about the last leaving boat. He felt significant. All that they were was nothing at all, just 2 dirty days that they called a holiday, and a washed out cape that rents by the day that overlooked the Waterford Speedway. Sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la, sha la 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 la. Words on a page, words on a screen, words so sweet it's almost obscene. All still, words you see. Red-eyed fly back to San Bernardino, stomach sick on a liquid breakfast of wine and boardwalk shells. They never seen Shaw, a magnetic car that opens up a door she don't wanna open no more. And all that they were was nothing at all, just 2 dirty days that they called a holiday. In a washed out cape that rents by the day, that overlooked the Waterford Speedway. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la. Sha la 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 la.
Wonderful. That was a really cool song. I like
Thank
that.
you.
Is that one on the CD?
No, that one actually was supposed to be on the CD, but we just wrote so much other material that it had to get put aside.
Yeah, we've been we've been around for a year and a half about, and we have upwards of 80 songs. Yeah,
Yeah.
80 songs as of
Wow.
the ones we wrote on Tuesday.
Do they just kind of flow right out of you?
They really do.
We keep expecting it to stop. We keep expecting there to come a period where we're just going to slow down on writing and then work on the material we have, and that does happen. I mean, we continue to work on the material we have, but the writing hasn't really slowed down
No.
yet, and it's sort of mysterious because I mean, at a certain point, I thought that when you're creative. I think anybody who does it has good periods and bad periods. They have periods where they're blocked. They have periods where the stuff doesn't come to them, or if it does come to them, it's just not of the highest quality. And they have other times where just simple and beautiful stuff comes out. And we've been sort of having a lucky time since we've met. And because we're afraid that eventually there will come a time where we don't produce, everything we do, we take seriously and make demos on, and then just sort of put them aside,
Right.
waiting for
Opportunities.
opportunity to use them. So we are prolific, and continue to be,
Right.
which is, I mean,
And I think, the fact that we both are writing, if one of us is having a lull, the other one isn't. So it's just a constant effort.
Is there like a process you go through, or is there a typical place where you got to sit in a dark room to write, or do you just anytime just comes to you and you write it down?
It's evolved over time.
yeah. Well, it's
Oh.
evolved over time, and in other ways it hasn't evolved at all.
Right.
I mean, I write my own stuff, my own songs, and then I will, put music to it. And this is something I've done for a while. But with Carmen, she will give me her poems, and there'll be a strong chorus imagery, meaning the repetition, the stuff that we're going to repeat, the line that we're really going to drive through. That stuff is sort of already sketched out before I get it. And then she'll write write all these words, and I'll sort of start going through the words and start sort of picking and choosing how it what's going to go where. For me, opening lines are always very important, so make sure the opening line is strong. Once I get it to that point, Carmen will come back in and then sort of start fine-tuning her own stuff. So by the time we're done with a song, the music is exactly as I want it, or close, and then lyrically it's right where Carmen wants it to be. And the process has generally been this way, where I would sort of take these words and hide away in my underground lair, just working on this stuff until I have like a couple songs, then hook up with Carmen, and then we'll record them onto our Zoom box or something else. So the process hasn't really changed, and I think it's sort of like if you're a pitcher, and if you're pitching a perfect game, you don't want to monkey with anything that's
Right.
going on. So like to this point, I don't want to interfere with.
You still got the
anything
same socks on?
Yeah, exactly. If I was wearing them, they'd be the same ones. You don't want to interfere with anything for fear that it's just going to throw luck off. And though I don't believe in superstition, I believe in that. So
If it works, just keep doing it.
That's right.
Do you? I was working on this project a couple years ago called Tune Rooms, where basically it's an online gathering or place where you can post up. Say you've got a guitar riff that you want to just put up there, or you've got some lyrics that you want to put up, or you've got a drum solo that you want to put up, and you want to see what other artists can add to it. Do you ever think of like doing something like that? Is that
well,
something?
we've done that a lot in our time that we've been together. We've collaborated with a lot of different types of musicians. One of the first projects we did early on was with a guy that we both know who has a group called the Porno Years, and the Porno Years was a I guess sort of a techno project. Bob Tweedy out of New Haven, good guy, good friend, and when he was putting together tracks, we discussed having us come in and sort of create tracks for. And we took some of our more so the poetry from the book and put it into the songs. We've also worked with other musicians who have worked, whether it be techno or people who play acoustic musicians, and each one of them brings something to sort of spread the sound out. What you're talking about in terms of sort of hooking up with people online is not something we've done a lot of yet.
No.
But we're certainly open to it because we're open to anything that leads towards creating.
Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to get a feel for what artists would think of the. A friend of mine was working on the project, and I just helped him out by critiquing it and just testing out stuff for him. But it was kind of cool because you can go online, you can upload a track, and then you can wait, and someone would add a track to it, and you kind of see what the final product is.
Yeah, I think musicians, especially nowadays, especially now that the record business as we have known it is will end. Musicians have to be open to experiences like that. They have to be open to sort of pushing themselves into areas they may not have ordinarily been interested in. And I know a lot of musicians who are to this moment sort of leery of the internet, except for the fact that you can't argue with the results.
Right.
You can get in front of people that you couldn't ordinarily. Things like Pandora are tastemakers at this point. I mean, people are picking up on stuff that comes through Pandora or Django.
Spotify is the new one.
Right.
Are you listed on any of those?
We are on Django.
Pandora, not yet. But,
not yet.
We're working towards that.
We're working towards that. But yeah, I'm not sure about Spotify. I have to actually look into that.
I haven't heard of Spotify.
That's the
I've
new
heard
one.
of it. Yeah,
that
you
came
know more
out,
about that
and
than
it's
me.
kind of like Groove Shark. I don't
Groove
know.
Shark, yeah.
It's very similar to that, except there's not as many duplicates, is what I'm finding, and it's.
Yeah, that is kind of a downer with Groove
yeah,
Shark.
it's not so much. It's kind of cool. I'm enjoying it.
Excellent. There's so many ways to get your music out there.
Exactly.
To get people to listen.
And in order to, because we're deadly serious about what we do, and we feel the need to have people hear the songs. It's not even about ego as much as it is the fact that we just think that people are going to understand, are going to relate. So there's not a avenue that we will come across that we won't consider. We've produced, 3 or 4 really good videos now, aside from like a bunch of live ones. We each have blogs going. We try to network in any number of ways and just try to get our songs out, and ultimately, I suppose, the message, which is a little high tone, but to get the message out at the same time, because one of the things that we believe that we sort of speak for our generation. And that's not to say that people older or younger won't appreciate what we're doing, but they may not lyrically understand the mix of dreamy desperation that we sort of operate with.
Yeah.
We're going to do another live song, and then I want to come back and just talk a little bit about the book that you worked on. And so what do you want to do now?
We're going to do a song called The Next Indie Boy.
The Next Indie Boy by
This
the
is
Grimm
something else
Generation.
that's not on the new CD. This is going to be on the next CD whenever we're done with that.
A sneak peek.
2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm keeping the music, the bands that you love. Way more zombie knowledge than a girl could dream of. I've learned how to dress in shifty locations. Heirlooms, mismatched china in rotation. Till the next indie boy comes singing along. Nothing else but the ballsiest of convictions. He'll get to love me all the more. It's gonna be your next hit on the radio, as I ensure your night remains your night uninterrupted. I get on my flight, it's your touch, baby. I lost that affection, I can't shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. So give it to me now, your sweet affection. 'Cause who the hell is paying that much attention? I'm curling my hair a little bit different, but it's your work shirt. I keep on moving around, keep on moving around, as I ensure your night remains your night uninterrupted. 555, it's your touch, baby. I lost that affection, I can't shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. While you traffic in miscalculation, pretty girls all in a line. I'm watching this time, so give it to me now, your sweet affection. 'Cause who the hell is paying any attention, as I ensure your night remains your night uninterrupted. 555, it's your touch, baby. I lost that affection, I can't shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Awesome.
Thanks
Wow,
a
I
lot.
felt like getting up and dancing on that one.
That's a good thing.
That takes a lot for me to get up and dance. All right, Grimm Generation. So you said you started off, you met through writing a book.
Yeah.
Tell
we
us a little
did.
bit about the book.
It's called Say Anything, and that was based on the fact that that was our relationship. We when we met, we went on one date and didn't see each other again, but we kept communication going, and through that communication were these topics that we would choose to discuss and in turn write about them, and this book kind of just evolved between us, and it was all done over the course of not seeing each other. So that's pretty much how that happened, and then basically while we were shopping the book, we continued to write, and everything just got more spare, and that's when it turned into the music, and it just
and for
blew
us,
up.
I mean, it was a direct line, because the name of the book was Say Anything, dispatches on love, lust, and longing from the Grimm generation. We created the concept of the Grimm generation, which is children of the 70s at 40 online and starting over. And once we actually identified ourselves like that, then we started to recognize that the problems that we discussed, the issues that we had, may not be unique to only us, but might be unique to people of our age, because we kept on to running into people who were crazier and crazier. You know what I mean? And I say that, almost respectfully, because I think we're pretty darn crazy. But, we kept on running into people who are our same age, who also were running with these themes and issues and stuff that we have. So we were sort of opting for the gig of being spokesman of our generation, but then being a generally apathetic generation, we got bored with that, and we decided to make a rock band. So.
There you go. So like a sub generation within Generation X is the Grimm generation?
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if anybody really is, the math of who says when Generation X begins or ends.
Right.
I
It's very
think
confusing.
1964, I think, is when it starts.
Is when it starts?
Yeah,
Okay,
That's
well,
when the boomers end.
I think so.
So when does Generation X end?
There's confusion.
The new
on that.
millennium, maybe. I don't know. I forget. It's been a while since I've read it sometime a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, for us, what we saw, I mean, we could definitely relate with the stuff that was happening in Generation X, because I mean we were part of that. We were when Nirvana came up, when the '90s was all of a sudden musically relevant. You know, I mean, we sort of came through all that. But I think the thing that made us unique, or made us wildly ununique, was the fact that, I mean, we shared a lot of the same experiences without ever having met each other. We had a lot of the same friends, though they weren't the same people, but they came with a lot of the same issues. You know, I mean, alcoholism and just any number of things, mostly sort of based on the idea that we believe that, I guess the way to describe it was, from the free love of the 60s to the Reagan of the 80s, we were sort of, you know, on one hand shuttled that this is what the new universe is going to be, and then by the time we were able to use it, Reagan came in, and then everything went the other way. So we sort of started off repressed, started to come out of our shell, and then got repressed again. So I mean, that's sort of the way that we skew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of goes like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
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 There's
I-
Clinton,
yeah.
Bush.
Yeah.
I mean, so it makes you wonder. I mean, being born in any particular generation, it makes you wonder what benefits or damage that you're going to have from that. I think a lot of the issues that we deal with, is a lot of the stuff that people from the 60s and people who grew up during the 60s and during the 80s probably deal with. But we could only write from our own little catbird seat. We can only write
Right.
from our own point of view. So everything we do is specific. And I mean, the majority of these songs that we're singing were true stories once upon a time.
Right.
You know, there's not a lot that we do that's completely fanciful. There's usually a core of truth in everything that we do, and that's sort of where it comes through. We're obsessive. We're self-obsessed. Yeah, I think that probably says it.
Yeah.
We're self-obsessed to the point where we come up with wide-ranging political thoughts about us. So,
Very cool. Very cool stuff. And I'm glad you guys came down. We had a great time.
we are too.
We had a
You're
good
going to be
time.
playing at the Billings Forge Farmers Market.
We are. That's August 11th, Thursday, 11 to 2. And then we also have a gig next weekend in Cheshire, July 30th at the Funky Monkey Cafe. And we
Funky
also
Monkey.
have, at Chaz's Place in Meriden, we'll be playing there August 26th with the lovely Liz Skillhorn and M.T. Barrington.
Wow.
And I just want to take this opportunity, because I haven't
Yes.
been on the radio, this design was done by official Grimm designer, and see, there you go, official Grimm designer
Nice.
and personal co-conspirator Juliana Kristoff. She does amazing work. If you're interested in speaking to her about a quote or something, julianakristoff.com. And she also does, I mean, she actually did all of our EP covers, and our EP covers were
Amazing.
were just absolutely amazing. Brown paper, very folky looking, but with sort of modern themes. So, I mean, so julianakristoff.com.
Excellent. And your CD there, the last
Record party.
We're going to close off the show with the last record party. Off
Thank
your
you very
CD.
much for having us. This was a good time, Mark.
This was excellent.
Great. I'm glad you had a good time, and thanks for coming down. The Grimm Generation, and here's the title off their CD, The Last Record Party.
I know my steps, but I'm not sure I can make them anymore. Know the song, but I'm not sure I can take it. You know I'm trying, but you don't know what it takes. Shimmy and shudder, stutter and break. Shimmy and shudder, stutter and break. Needle drops again, we face what we hate to love, love to hate. History 45, spin so quick in place. Last I copper can't keep the pace. Shimmy and shudder, stutter and break. Shimmy and shudder, stutter and break. It's a collection of your promises and the quickness with which you break them, and the reckless way you state them, and the uselessness of saying anything year after year after year after year, year after year after year after year, year after year after year after year, year after year after year after year. Coming out party, the one that you never found, yo, stitched together hard and tattered stutter and break, leave it all on the dance floor. Shimmy and shake, stutter and break, leave it all on the dance floor. Shimmy and shake, stutter and break, leave it all on the dance floor.
WECS, Willimantic. I have to bring the Grimm generation back real quick. I forgot to ask my question. I do a poll with every band that I have down here. It might not apply to you though. When you're on tour, I'm thinking of like a nationally touring band, but it applies locally too. I think when you're going from club to club and show to show, is there ever a place where you have to stop and get some kind of comfort food, your favorite burger joint or a favorite ice cream place?
Where were we when? I think we were in Milford, and we had to stop at some hot dog place for you.
Oh.
Where was that?
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, one thing I could definitely say is if we're playing as far south as Fairfield County, Dutchess, because
That
they
was
don't.
it.
Because I grew up around there, and Dutchess was. I mean, it's like fast food, except for the fact that they actually prepare the food, and Dutchess is a cult, is a religion down there, and yeah, I would definitely say yes. You are correct. You are correct, miss.
I've heard of it. I've never been
Yeah,
there.
I mean, they're. That's definitely a place. I know that also for me, as long as there's good coffee, I'll go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's very true. And when we hit Canada, there will be French fries, gravy, and cheese, which is poutine, and that's what I would eat for comfort food if I had to.
She's Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
Ah. Which part of Canada?
Quebec, Saint Prosper.
Oui. Or wah.
Oui. Wah.
All right. Thank you very much again for coming down.
Thank you for having us,
and
Mark.
hope to hear you soon in many times in the years to come.
Thank you very much.
All right.